Mathematics, June 2020, Paper 2, Foundation Tier. And for this paper, you're allowed to use a calculator. Total mark for this paper is 80. You must show all your working, and you need to answer all the questions. Question number 1. Write 0.37 as a fraction. To change from a decimal to a fraction, because it is 2 decimal places, we multiply by 100 and we divide by 100. That is equivalent of multiplying by 1, because 100 divided by 100 is 1. So 0.37 times 100. When you multiply by 100, you move the decimal place 2 places in front, 1, 2. So your answer becomes 37, and 100 times 1 is 100. So your answer is 137 divided by 100. Question number 2. Write 29,381 correct to the nearest thousand. So you would write 29,331 correct to the nearest thousand. So you put the line, I've got the blue line or red line now, between 9 and 3. You look at 3. The number 3 is smaller than 5. So you round it down. So this, all the other numbers become 0. So it becomes 29,000. So 29,381 to the nearest thousand is 29,000. It's nearer to 29,000. So that's what you do for the answer. Question number 3. Simplify 3e minus e plus 4. So minus and plus are same in bit mass. In terms of which one you do first doesn't really matter. So do 3e minus e, it gives you 2e. 2e plus 4e, it gives you 6e. So the answer is 6e. Question number 4. Write 1/4 as a percentage. So you multiply by 100 to change from fractions to percentage. So you would write it, you can look at it as 100 divided by 4 times 1. 100 divided by 4 is 25. 25 times 1 is 25. So your answer is 25%. Question number 5. Here is a list of numbers: 3, 4, 9, 18, 27, 30, and 36. From the numbers in the list, write down a cube number. So what is a cube number? So when you multiply a number by itself and then multiply it by itself again, you get a cube number. So you multiply a number by itself and then multiply it by itself again, you get a cube number. For example, 1 times 1, you multiply 1 by itself and then you multiply it again by itself, you get a cube number. So there's 3 of them. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So 1 is the cube number, 8 is a cube number. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 27 is a cube number. So on that list, write down a cube number. The only cube number is 27. So your answer is 27. Question number 6. Liz is watching a film at the cinema. The film started at 14:30. The film is 105 minutes long. When the film ends, Liz takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. A bus leaves the bus stop at 16:45. Does Liz get to the bus stop in time to get this bus? You must show your working. When I do this type of questions, and it's very important, even when you're in exams, you have to try and either you underline, for example, I've highlighted all the numbers because they are wordy questions and you need to be able to see the numbers quickly. So I've highlighted the numbers, or you can underline them. So we start by saying 105 minutes. That's how long the film is. Let's change that to hours and minutes. 105 minutes is 1 hour and 45 minutes, because 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 60 plus 45 gives you 105. So it's 1 hour 45 minutes. Now let's add that 1 hour 45 minutes. We started at 2:30, 14:30 when the film started. So 14:30 plus 1 hour 45 minutes, or 2:30 plus 1 hour 45 minutes. That will take us to 16:15. That means 4:15 or 4:15. So if I do it on number line, we start at 14:30. You add 1 hour 45 minutes, you get to 16:15. And then when the film ends, list takes 20 minutes. So you add 20 minutes plus 16:15. At the end of the film, at 4:15, you add 20 minutes. That takes you to 16:35. So 16:15 plus 20 minutes, 16:35. But the bus leaves the bus stop at 16:45. So Liz gets there at 16:35, and the bus leaves at 16:45. So 16:35 is less before 16:45. So does Liz get to the bus stop in time to get the bus? It's a yes from me. And that's how you do it, and showing the work neatly. Question number 7. Farhad, George, and Tom each did a test. Here are their marks for the test. Farhad 74, George 77, Tom 72. George drew this bar chart to show the marks they got. The bar chart is not fully correct. Write down 2 things that are wrong with George's bar chart. We need to have just 2 things. I've listed a few more than 2 there, but you can pick any 2 of them and you can use. First, number 1, there's no label for mark. So if you look on the y-axis, there's no label there. So it doesn't tell you what it is there. There's no label for that. That's one reason. The vertical axis jumps from 0 to 71. If you look at this y-axis, it goes from 0 to 71. How does that work? It has to be equally spaced. The next thing, another reason you can use, the bars are not all the same width. Like the width of this is 1 of this square. This one is 1. This one is 2. So the width are not all the same. And, or you can say Tom's bar is twice as wide. So these 2, similar thing. Or another reason you can say there's no axis, or Tom's bar should not take up to 4 squares. So those are some of the reasons which you can put, and you pick 2 of them and you get the mark. Question number 8. ABC is a straight line. Work out the size of angle X. When you have a straight line, angles on a straight line add up to 180. So that means X plus 150 should be 180. So how do you get X? 180 minus 150, and that gives you 30 degrees. So to give a reason for your answer, you would write angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. The diagram below is wrong. Explain why. When you add 90 plus 280, you get 370. So the 2 angles don't add up to 360. They should add up to 360 for when you add the 2 angles. So instead of 280, it should be 270. That should be 270, not 280. Because angles around a point equals to 360 degrees. So that's the complete answer for question 8. 30 degrees, angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. And the two angles don't add up to 360 degrees. Angles around the point equals 360 degrees. Question number 9. This scale can be used to change between kilometers and miles. Miles at the top, kilometers at the bottom. Use the scale to change 40 kilometers to miles. So you locate 40 kilometers and you will see in miles is up there between 20 and 30. So it's 25 miles. So 40 kilometers is 25 miles. Here is an approximate rule to change from kilometers to miles. Divide the distance in kilometers by 10 and then multiply by 6. So use this approximation to change 40 kilometers to miles. So you divide the distance by 10. So 40 divided by 10 and then multiply by 6. It becomes 40 divided by 10 times 6, which will give you 24. So it's 24 miles. Compare your answer to part B with your answer to part A. The two answers, 25 and 24, the two answers are quite close, 24 and 25. And also, answer to B is less than the answer to A. 24 is less than 25. Question number 10. Solve 3m is equal to 36. You want to remove the times 3. And the opposite of times 3 is divided by 3. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. And if you check your answer, 12 times 3 is 36. Solve 7 minus x equals to 3. This one, the x on the left side is negative. So we can decide to take the x to the right. It becomes positive x. And take the 3 to the left, it becomes minus 3. So 7 minus 3 is equals to x. So answer x is equals to 4. And you can check your answer, put 4 for x. 7 minus 4 is 3. Question number 11. Here is a cuboid. Work out the volume of the cuboid. I've put on the top right-hand side the formula to find volume of a cuboid, which is given by the length times the width times the height. So the volume of the cuboid, the length 15 times 10 times 4. Multiply all those three numbers and you get 600 cubic centimeters. Question number 12. Lucy uses a code to open a lock. The code is a letter followed by a 2-digit number. The letter is L-O-U. The number is a prime number between 20 and 30. Write down all the possibilities for Lucy's code. So the prime numbers between 20 and 30 is 23 and 29, those two prime numbers. So you can have L23, L for the letter, 23 for the number, or you can have L for the letter, 29 for the number, or you can have U23 or U29. Those are the options. Question number 13. A machine fills bags with sweets. There are 4,275 sweets. There are 28 sweets in each full bag. The machine fills as many bags as possible. How many sweets are left? So we want to do 4,275 divided by 28. That gives us 52.67. Another way is to do 1552 times 28. It gives you 4256. And 4275 minus 4256 gives you 19. So there are 19 sweets which are left. Question number 14. The table gives information about the number of goals scored by each of three teams. Team City number of goals 50. Rovers, number of goals 45. United, number of goals 25. Draw an accurate pie chart for this information. To draw a pie chart, we need to work out the angles. So the total is 120 goals. So that number, that 120 goals, that is equivalent to the 360 degrees around the circle. So you want to share 360 degrees into 120 goals. So 360 divided by 120, it gives you the angle for one goal. So that means it's 3 degrees. That means one goal is 3 degrees. One goal is angle of 3 degrees. So 50 goals would be angle of 50 times 3, 150 degrees. 45 goals would be angle of 45 times 3, 135 degrees. 5 goals would be angle of 25 goals would be angle of 25 times 3, 75. And if you add all these angles, you will get 360 degrees, which shows that you've done it correctly. So we use your protractor. You need to measure the angle and then you draw it in the circle. So you mark the center, draw the straight line that goes from the center to the circumference. And we start with 150. You mark clockwise 150 degrees. You put your protractor. The protractor will look like that when you put it on it. And you will read the angle 150 degrees. After that, you would take the protractor and put it at the bottom, and you can turn it around and you can mark the angle, read the angle 75 degrees. And you don't need to measure the third side because the third side will be the 135 degrees. Question number 15. T is equals to 3x plus 4y. Work out the value of t when x is equals to 5 and y is equals to minus 7. Here we're substituting in the value for x and y. And it's important to be careful that y is a negative number. So x is 5. So where we see x, we replace it with 5. So 5 will go there. And y is minus 7. That will go there. So t would be 3 times 5 plus 4 times minus 7. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times minus 7 is minus 28. So you get 15 minus 28. It gives you minus 13. So minus 13 is the value for t. Work out the value of t of y when t is 38 and x is 6. So you write down that equation from the top there. Copy it down. Sub in t as 38. X as 6. The 3 stays the same. And plus 4y. The 4y stays the same. Now 3 times 6 is 18. So you take to the left. 38 minus 18. It was plus 18. It goes to the left. It becomes minus 18. 38 minus 18 is 20. So 20 is equals to 4 times y. And you ask yourself, what do you times by 4 to get 20? Is 5. Or 20 divided by 4 is 5. Another way to do it is using algebra, where we can make y the subject and substitute the value for t and x. So you can write t equals to, look on the right side, t equals to 3x plus 4y. You minus 3x first. T minus 3x equals to 4y. So you minus 3x, and then after that you divide by 4. That's the expression, that's the equation for y. And you will sub in t, x to be 6 and t to be 38. So that means y would be 38 minus 3 times 6 divided by 4, which would be equals to 5. So you get the same answer. Question number 16. An exam has 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 has 60 marks, paper 2 has 90 marks. The pass mark is 2/3 of the total number of marks. So Daniel gets 70% of the marks for paper 1. How many marks for paper 2 must Daniel get in order to get the pass mark? So they've got these two tests, paper 1 and 2. We need to know what the pass mark is. They've told us on the question it is 2/3 the total marks. But what is the total marks? So let's work out the total marks first. Total marks, we add 60 plus 90, it gives you 150. That is the total marks for the two tests. Now let's find out what the pass mark is. It's 2/3 of that total. So 2/3 of 150, that gives you 100. You do it as 150 divided by 3 times 2. 150 divided by 3 is 50 times 2 gives you 100. Now, but Daniel has got 70% of the marks for paper 1. What does 70% represent? How many marks is that? So we want to find 70% of 60. So 70% of 60 is 42 marks. So Daniel has got 42 marks. So they need to get 100 marks, but they've got 42. So how much is left? 100 minus 42 will give 58. So Daniel needs to get 58 marks from paper 2. Question number 17. Scott wants to make orange juice. He's going to buy boxes of oranges. There are 24 oranges in each box of oranges. 30 oranges make 2 liters of orange juice. Scott needs to buy enough oranges to make 8 liters of orange juice. Work out the number of boxes of oranges that Scott needs to buy. You must show all your working. So 30 oranges makes 2 liters. Now we want to make 8 liters. So to go from 2 liters to 8 liters, you times by 4. 2 liters times 4 gives you 8 liters. So we have to times the number of oranges by 4 as well on the left side. So 30 times 4, it gives you 120. So you need 120 oranges to make 8 liters. You need 30 oranges to make 2 liters. Now, the next thing is, it says there are 24 oranges in one box. Just like you buy the oranges in boxes. So 24 of the oranges are in one box. So how many orange would you have in 5 boxes? So you times 5, you get 5 boxes on the left. And you have to times 24 times 5, you get 120 oranges. So 120 oranges, they'll be in 5 boxes. Now, 120 oranges divided by 24, because there are 24 orange in each box, it will give you 5. So that's another way you look at it. 120 divided by 24, it gives you 5. Scott also buys 1,260 apples and 280 bananas. Write down the ratio of the number of apples that Scott buys to the number of bananas that he buys. Give your ratio in its simplest form. Apples is to bananas. 1,220 apples, 280 bananas. You simplify, you can divide by 10 on the left, divide by 10 on the right. So 126 is to 28. You just cross out the zeros when you divide by 10. Now this even number on the left, even number on the right. So you can simplify by dividing by 2. Half of 28 is 14. Half of 126 is 63. So 14 and 63 are in the 7 times table. So 14 divided by 7 is 2. 63 divided by 7 is 9. So the simplest ratio is 4:9. So that's what the complete answer for question 17 would look like. You get 5, and then you get 9:2. Question number 18. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So we start at triangle A, we end at triangle B. How did we get to move from triangle A to B? What did we do? So if we look at this animation, if you watch that animation and see if that may help. So if I make this pink, I make it pink so that you can see it. It sits there at A. When you want to get it to B, if you notice, we'll turn it 1, turn it again 2, before we bring it, before it goes to B. So what has happened is we have rotated it 90 degrees the first time and 90 degrees the second time. So altogether is 180 degrees before we fit it on B. And it's the center is -10. When you do it in an exam, you will draw that triangle on a tracing paper and put it on top. So that will be a tracing paper. You put your pen on different points and see if you rotate it, if it will fit. And you will find out that that will be the center of rotation. So to get all the marks, you have to say rotation of 180 degrees and say the center. So this is what it would, I'll show you again on the animation. So what we have here is that triangle, and we have the triangle initially. Let me bring it up so you can see. So the triangle is like that. I hope you can see. I fit the pink triangle on top. So we want to get it to be. So notice that the sides have turned, so we have to rotate it. So we have to rotate it 1, that's 90, and rotate it 2, that's 180. And now it would fit on this. And then we would determine the center if we had you use a tracing paper to do it in your exams. Question number 19. Adam, Linda, and Righties share an amount of money. Linda gets 3 times as much money as Righties. Linda gets half as much money as Adam gets. What fraction of the amount of money does Linda get? So let's look at Righties, who gets the minimum. So if Righties gets £1, it says Linda gets 3 times. That's why I highlight those information in the questions. Very important. Linda gets 3 times that what Righties get. So let's say Righties gets £1. So Linda will get 3 times that £1, which will be £3. But what does Adam get? It tells us that Linda gets half as much as Adam. So whatever Linda gets, we double it. That was what Adam will get. So Linda will double Linda's amount. So if Linda gets £3, we double it. That means Adam will get 6. Now you add all them to get the total. Righties get 1. Linda gets 3 times that, 1, which is 3. And Adam gets 2 times Linda. 2 times 3 is 6. So we add 1 plus 3 plus 6. That gives you 10. So the fraction, Linda's fraction is what Linda gets divided by the total. So fraction is part divided by whole. What's the part for Linda? Is 3. The whole, the total is 10. So that gives you the fraction. Question number 20. Pens and pencils are sold in a shop. 12 pencils cost £1.80. The ratio of the cost of a pen to the cost of a pencil is 7:3. Work out the cost of 5 pens. So what you do is you write 12 pencils. It's 180 pens. Notice I've highlighted all of the important numbers in the question. So if 12 pencils is 180 pens, 12 divided by 12 will give you 1 pencil, and we divide 180 by 12 to get 50. 15 pence. So 1 pencil is 15 pence. We know the cost of pen is to the cost of pencil, the ratio. 7 parts of pen, 3 parts of pencil. So 15 divided by 3, it gives you 5 for 1 part. And 15 times 7 is 35 pence each. So the cost of 5 pence would be 35 pence times 5, which is 175 pence, or £1.75.